Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ronaldo Moore with PPG, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll know when I am dropping these videos. Coming at you again with another edition, Residential Code Violations, Part 4. These are violations that I come across day in, day out here on the job. So sit back, relax, and I will see you again on the next one. All right, I am doing a mechanical final at an apartment complex. Sorry for the noise, the background noise. There was a plane going up above. But I'm doing a mechanical final at this apartment complex. This is one of the buildings, and they want me to pass. And I'll zoom in on this. And you can see that duct, those two galvanized duct that's coming straight up through the roof, vertical. That's the bathroom exhaust for the units on the second level. You see that there. And I told the contractor they need a roof cap for these bathroom exhausts. They can't just come straight up through the roof like that and terminate like that. And then you have the lower level bathroom exhausts, which are right here, which are fine. But the ones up top here, we need a roof cap for those bathroom exhaust duct. It's going straight up through the roof. Which is kind of funny because he's got them installed over here on the next building. You can see that the roof caps for the exhaust duct on the building next to this one, but then he wants me to to pass that. And he said that they're out of stock. He's tried a lot of locations and the roof caps are all out of stock, but I can't let that pass. All right, I'm back with some more code violations. You're looking at a brand new home. I'm doing a final on this one. And the violation today is the drip edge required at the eaves, the gable ends and the eaves. I'll zoom in on that so you can see it. You got your flex duct, HVAC, it's residential, brand new construction. You got a frame around that. You just, I'm assuming this is a closet, maybe a linen closet. Electrical panel there. I'm on the top floor, new home. I'm assuming that's a linen closet, but you got a frame around the flex duct. Then you got to seal the top. There's another one over here as well. Can't just leave that out in the open like that. You got a frame around that, and look what they did to that joist. They just gutted the hell out of that. Got to come back and reinforce that. Oh boy. All right, I am in the garage and I'm looking up at a 4-ply LVL. All 4-ply LVLs must be bolted together. You can't just nail a 4-ply. I think Simpson also makes a long screw that you can use, but you can't nail together 4-ply LVLs. Got to be bolted 1/2-inch bolts with a nut and washer, and it's got to be staggered. He did do a good job as far as transferring the load down to that block wall, concrete block wall on both sides. He did a decent job there transferring that load down to the slab. However, he didn't bolt. He didn't bolt that. You got to bolt 1/2-inch bolts or a long screw on both sides. All right, I'm back doing a framing inspection on a renovated home. And the contractor, and I don't know why they did this, but they framed up a double wall. It's a frame inside of another frame wall inside of another frame wall. Why, I don't know. However, the problem with that, when you do that, you have to make sure you go back and seal the top of the areas between the frame wall. The frame walls are the foundation wall. In this case, you're looking at a couple frame walls, but all those openings between the walls, they all have to be sealed. Typically, you can use some rock wool or some fire foam, but when you do that, you do have to seal the top. All right, I'm back checking a deck, checking the framing on a deck, brand new. And what you're looking at is a 6x6 post. You got a beam going across that. He notched that, which is good, but he chose to use lag screws as opposed to 1/2 inch bolts going through with a nut and washer. So I don't really know how far that lag screw is into that notch. You always want to see through bolts going through in the nut and washer. Now when it comes to the beams, these LVL beams, you're only allowed to drill holes in the middle 1/3 of a LVL beam. So really it's just, and I will include a chart as well, but you can't drill holes that 1/3 on the left side or 1/3 of the beam on the right side. Only in that middle 1/3. That's the only area you're allowed to drill through a LVL beam. Unlike here, I'm down in the garage of a renovated home, and what you're looking at is a double LVL going across that span. And like I stated earlier, you are not allowed to drill holes. The only area that you're allowed is that middle third of the LVLs. And he drilled, the contractor, maybe you can see that. Let's try to zoom in on it. I know the lighting is probably not that good, but he drilled holes near the edge of this 2-ply, and he drilled another one through. And that you are not allowed to do with the LVL beam. All right, I'm back with some more violations. You're looking at an electrical panel here. It's just roughed in. You got your Romex going down through the floor. The problem is, let me go around to the other side and show you. It's kind of dark in here, so I hope you can see this, but look how close that Romex is to the edge of that bottom plate and that incoming surface is. Now they chose to use nail guards. Now, I did a video on this, nail guards as opposed to a Boca plate. That's what you need over here. Nail guards are typically used for horizontal protection for wiring and plumbing. You use nail guards on the vertical. You need a Boca plate, a large or 2 or 3 or 1 large Boca plate to protect that wiring and that incoming service. Back with some more violations. I did a video on this one a while back, but you can't have a smoke alarm within 4 inches of that vertical wall. That's considered dead space. So you have to come back and move that out. That applies on the vertical as well. All I'm doing an electrical final. This is the kind of setup you want to see at your electrical meter. You got your disconnect, your whole house disconnect. That's the NEC code change. Got your ground wire going down through your inner system bonding terminal bar. That's for low voltage. Ground wire going down. Then you got your ground rods here. And another one here. You need at least 2 ground rods. So that's what you want to see at your electrical meter. All right, let's first talk about the condensing units. You want to first check and make sure that they're sitting on some kind of pad, and they are sitting on a concrete pad. The pad is elevated. You want to make sure when you have multiple condensers sitting next to each other that they're labeled. And in this particular case, 7 is for apartment 7, 2 is for apartment 2. And make sure that we have a strap on the electrical wiring. You also want to check for locking access port caps. And I apologize for the noise in the background. This apartment complex is pretty close to the airport, so I apologize for the noise in the background. But you want to check and make sure they have locking access port caps, and they do. And the max breaker on this unit is 30 amps, so I'll go in and check that up against what's on the panel. But that's kind of what you want to see when you're looking at the condensing units. All right, I'm back doing a framing inspection. Brand new home, and one of the best times to check for the correct riser height and tread depth on the stairway is right now at the framing. Now's the time to get this worked out and make sure all the riser heights are no more than 7 3/4 inch, correct tread depth, and there's no more than 3/8 of an inch between stair risers on a stairway. This is the time to get that worked out at the framing. All right, on this clip, I'm having to do a voiceover because my mic went out, but this is what you want to see. There's an electric water heater. This is what you want to see in regards to securing an expansion tank to the structure. It can't sit on that water line anymore.